So when I first became a personal trainer and I got my qualification, I was taught a whole range of different shit which doesn't really apply right now. For example, when I did my qualification, we were being taught about such things as somatotypes. And for those of you that don't know, somatotype was a predisposed body type which people suggested that everybody had. You either had an endomorph, which is somebody who's relatively big boned, quite a lot of body fat, that kind of stuff. A mesomorph, whereby people are naturally just really built and full of muscle. And then you've also got the ectomorph, which is a body type which people were predisposed with, which suggests that you were just very, very skinny, not that much body fat, not that much muscle. You get the idea. And as time has progressed, we've realised that this is completely false, because somatotype theory was actually created by a mathematician who wanted to find out whether or not people could fit into certain clothes sizes, and it has no relation to fitness or natural genetics. And I'm using that as just a springboard for my point that over time, what people get taught in regards to fitness massively changes. So the things that you got taught about fitness 5-10 years ago are probably not that applicable right now. After all, 10 years ago, people were really wanting to get a thigh gap. Fuck me, actually no, it was 20 years ago. That's showing my age, isn't it? Like in the noughties, people wanted to get a thigh gap. Then when it came into the 2010s and the Kim K, hype started to take over, people wanted a big arse. And now as we're halfway through the 2020s, people are looking for Ozempic and Manjaro and all this stuff just to try and get skinny again, and that skinny hype is kind of coming back. Fitness and also nutrition to a certain extent will always come in waves and will always get trends, just like Tamagotchis or Loom Bands when we were younger. And the things that you get taught in order to achieve these things will also change as well. People used to say that eggs were really, really, really bad for you, and eating an egg was the equivalent to having 5 cigarettes. Now people are saying that eggs are the only thing that you should eat because they're full of protein, full of healthy fats, and all of this shite. And what meaning does this have for you? Well, it's pretty simple, really. What you need to focus on is not focusing on the things that you got taught 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago, and understand the things which are constant in regards to fitness and nutrition. And I'm going to tell you exactly what the constants are when it comes to fitness and nutrition, the things which haven't changed since the onset of this whole fitness hype that everyone's on. In order to lose fat, you need to be creating a calorie deficit. That is a constant. That has actually been around since the dawn of the universe, because it's governed by something called the first law of thermodynamics, which is basically a law which keeps the universe rolling. In order to build muscle and in order to tone up and in order to get stronger, you need to be going into the gym and applying progressive overload. Progressive overload is basically, in very simple terms, whereby you gradually increase the intensity of an exercise over time in order to cause your body to adapt. And the way your body adapts is by building stronger, bigger muscles. If you can get decent quality sleep, for example, about 6 to 8 hours of decent quality sleep, that's going to help you with fat loss and fitness. Because 1, it's going to mean that you're going to be less hungry and more satiated. And 2, it's also going to help recovery muscles, which, as we've just explained, will cause muscle gain to happen. And also, if you can try and get a decent amount of protein in, considering protein is very satiating, it's got a very high thermic effect, and it also helps with building and growing muscles. These things are constant. You can't really change the opinions or facts about these things because these things have always been the case. It just so happens that within the past 20-30 years, we've been able to research them a little bit more and actually dictate what causes what. So understand that if like a new diet comes out, for example, keto or anything like that, then it's most likely just a trend that's came out, and it's probably just an old diet that's been wrapped up in a new sugary coat, because keto actually used to be called the Atkins diet. Then that fell off trend and people then started to bring it back and rename it the keto diet. Intermittent fasting, that's another one. That is something that's been wrapped up in a sugar coat, when in actual fact back in the day it was just called skipping breakfast. Fitness, nutrition, getting into shape, exercise, whatever it is, understand that there's going to be so many things that come in and out as a trend, just like fashion. But as long as you ignore these trends and just focus on the things that will always be constant and will always guarantee you results, you're going to get results. So stop getting overwhelmed with all of the random shite in the industry and focus on the things that I mentioned earlier. If you like this video and want some more videos exactly like this, make sure that you're either subscribed to this channel, following my Instagram, give this video a like, and if you've got any comments or got any questions, please comment below, because I'd be more than happy to answer them for you. Peace.